My name is Vincent. I would like to present about the ways to service the master cylinder. Firstly, we need to remove the nut between the master cylinder and the vacuum power booster. Remove the brake hose from the master cylinder. We need to use the fret nut spanner to open the brake foot line nut. Unscrew all the brake foot pipe and remove the master cylinder. After remove the master cylinder, we need to remove the C-clip in front of the cylinder and push the piston and remove the screw which hold the piston at the side. And next, we need to use the air compressor gun to remove the piston inside the master cylinder. And next, we need to check the piston and the spring condition, make sure the rubber steel is still soft and the spring is still working in condition well. Check the brake fluid diaphragm without damage. And next, we need to check the vacuum booster, make sure it is working well. We need to use the sandpaper to polish inside the master cylinder. Using the WD-40 to remove the rust on the spring piston. And using the rubber grease to wipe the surface inside the master cylinder before we install. Reinstall back the piston and the spring. And next, we need to push the piston and tighten the screw. And we need to install the second piston. Place back the C-clip. And the last, we need to replace back the master cylinder. Screw all the nuts between the master cylinder and the vacuum booster. And screw back the brake fluid pipe by using the special tools. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm EDRY. So today I'm going to present about the question of the master cylinder in lab 2. So we're going to the first question. Based on your finding, what is the effect of Pushrod and length to brake performance? So here is the image of what is the brake booster. So brake booster pushrod, or also known as brake assist, is functioned when we step on the brake pedal. The booster diaphragm activates a pushrod that shoves the brake master cylinder piston inward, forcing brake fluid through the lines with high pressure. The booster increases your foot pressure to force the brake fluid into the calipers and wheel cylinders, which in turn collapse the brake pads. If not adjusted properly, it will cause the dragging brakes or a low pedal can result. Okay, then we go to the next question. Okay, name type of brake oil used for your car. Can different type of brake oil be used and why? Okay, so as you can see here, this is the type of brake fluid. There are 3 types of brake fluids. There is .3, .4 and .5. The main difference is that .3, .4 and .5 is the boiling point and the temperature. The higher the dot number, the more higher the boiling point. Boiling point refers to where the brake fluid will begin to boil or vaporize in the brake system that can affect brake performance. Okay, using the wrong fluid, it can cause poor lubrication, overheating, and possibly transmission failure. Okay, then we go to the next question. Name hydraulic tubes that connected to master cylinder and where all tubes are connected. The hydraulic tubes that connected to the master cylinder called a hydraulic line. Okay, where all the tubes are connected. So in this picture, where all the tubes are connected. Okay, so for the first one, we press the brake pedal, and the brake pedal will create a pressure and send the fluids to the brake booster. Then the brake booster will supply the fluid through this tube, go through the master cylinder, and the master cylinder will supply the fluids to the caliper. Okay, and also the same for the brake drum. So this is the brake booster, and they supply the fluid to the master cylinder, and the master cylinder will go through all these two, go through to the drum. And in the drum there is a brake shoes, then the brake shoes will expand and creates a friction. So the next question, what is the function of diaphragm? As you can see here, this is the image of the diaphragm. Alright, okay. As you can see here is the brake booster. The diaphragm is inside the brake booster. Okay, the booster does this by using a diaphragm system, whereby a vacuum in a little air is used to add force to the brakes. When the brake pedal was pushed down, the lever that passes through the master cylinder cracks open a small valve in the booster that allows air to enter one side of the diaphragm. So that's all for me.
In conclusion, we have known the working principle of the vehicle braking system, such as the vacuum booster will produce the higher force to push the piston in the master cylinder when we press the brake pedal. The brake fluid in the reservoir will be compressed through the hydraulic pipe and transmit to the disc brake and the drum brake. Secondly, we have learned about the remove and servicing the master cylinder. We need to check whether they have rusting or wears inside the master cylinder. And third, we have learned troubleshoot the braking system component part, such as the vacuum booster. We need to observe the pushrod length after pressing the brake pedal. And the last, we have learned about the characteristic of the brake oil. As we know, the higher the dot, the higher the boiling point temperature in the brake oil. Mostly we are using the dot 4 in our vehicle. That's all for our lab 2.